Hi everyone, this is Barbara Derrick, day 8, silhouette, and 3 types of artist awarenesses. Ooh, try to say this. I just got off a live Facebook call with, it's actually a summit that was with John Maxwell himself, and around this very challenging time for all of us, and also because my niche is in the creative and artistic field, huge impacts to businesses all around us and to our profession and how we set up our daily schedule. I decided to try and invest more time on Facebook Lives and to also share with you from my heart of hearts. So my question to you today is, what is in your heart? And I want to provide a little bit of an exercise, which will be a silhouette art. It doesn't look that magnificent until you have the steps. And the steps are crucial. And as an artist or a creative person, we need a sense of direction. And that sense of direction is knowing about ourselves and our strengths and in our vision that we cast to the world, and whatever medium that we're making or creating. We are drawing eyes to our work. What are our values and our strengths that consistently show up over and over again as a creative person? What is it? What is the message that we want to share? In the colors, in the form, in the structure, when we could talk about installation. And do the people that are, and as from yesterday, day 7, do our viewers totally understand what it is that we're presenting to them? Art is leadership. Leadership is about showing and sharing those strengths and values, but that can't be necessary unless we know exactly what our values are and which direction are we going. I remember years ago, short story, mini story that's going to lead into a sense of direction. I remember elders saying to me, when you get lost in the bush, be aware of landmarkings. And if anything, if there's a creek or a river, pay attention to where that is. And I remember that stuck out really, really big for me. I was out with the kids, and my husband at the time, he was gold panning. And that was so boring. I just wanted to trot through the bush and explore the plants and smell and look and forage for what we call plant life for medicines in my culture. That's what we call foraging and looking for. There might be some wild strawberry plants. I may need some leaves. So I went out to venture. Wasn't long before I lost my way, even though I thought I paid attention to that big rock, this kind of thing, that tree on the left-hand side, but everything looked the same. I could feel panic set in. And I remembered, follow the stream. We were panning by the creek. We're off in the bush. So I followed the sound, and there I was, and I had to remember, were we upstream or downstream? And I vaguely recollect that we were up. And then I went down the creek, and it wasn't 5 minutes as I was calming my mind and saying to myself, I haven't forgotten. I will be led in the right place. And with that calmness, I heard the kids talking and laughing and chasing each other, and I noticed that that voice was over a knoll, so I followed that up over. There they were. And that was because I had listened to an older person with wisdom about being lost in the bush that many years ago, and I thought to myself that I wasn't listening, but I paid attention. And that awareness of listening and remembering what the elder said, elder as in senior, older person, gave me life. And I'm here today. And that calmness gave me a sense of direction. My strengths and knowing myself as a leader in the arts, I know that as a nature person, I love to be outdoors, that nature calms me. And over the years, I have made peace with calm. My weakness as an artist is I pile things on way too high. My plate is full. And I'll still keep piling it on, which creates an organization and lack of focus. I know this, and it's a good thing that I am aware of that lack of focus. Opportunities, there's a sense of adventure within me, and I know that I will seek out opportunities just like I do when I'm out exploring the bush, the trees, the plants. There's something out there that keeps me riveted and curious. So now that I've introduced you to the thought or my story about being lost and discovering a sense of direction. My sense of direction in 2017 brought me to the 15 invaluable laws of growth as an artist. Yes, because growing means learning more about myself. And that story was triggered by my journal, which is a book study that I did with my mentor, John Maxwell. And no, I get live each month with him and live Q&A. I get to talk to my mentor, my business partner. And that's huge in my world because around me as an artist, John shows up in the world consistently. Every month I know I can rely on his voice. So as an artist or a creative person, you want to grow, but if you don't know yourself, it gives rise to missing those opportunities. Because if mindset is, I'm not good enough, that opportunity that's sitting right in front will pass us by. You must be able to gauge where you've been, but also where you are now. So past, the then, and now. So we as artists and creative people are leaders of our vision. And that vision sometimes gets stuck up here with all the assessments and quality control standards that somehow it doesn't get here. It's a big journey. It may only be 6 inches is what I say in my workshops consistently and in my seminars, my speeches. 6 inches from here to here. And we do that. It takes us a lifetime, but we do that. And it can't be done without growing ourselves. When we're growing ourselves, then we have the experience of wisdom to share with others. So build on what you know now, but do it. Keep moving. There are 3 types of artists. Artist awarenesses. Okay? And sometimes, as an artist, we will fluctuate between all 3. The first one is, it's backwards. Don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I have so many interests. I mean, how am I supposed to focus on just one? Too many interests cause confusion. And John says we need to focus on one to get good. And what about number 2? Backwards. We'll flip it around. I am learning and growing with you, believe it or not. This technology, yes, I love this. I'm learning. Unwilling. We know what we like to do, but we're unwilling to pay the price to learn. That's a heavy one. And that doesn't mean financial. It's not always bought. It's about the time we put aside for learning. And yes, mentorship. I pay 2 or 3 folks for mentorship because I can't go there. I can't understand my strengths and change character if I'm not growing as an artist. So I'm willing to pay the price and the time. There's some commitment in investing in myself as an artist and as a creative person. And I know when I invest in myself, I can share the techniques, the strategies, the business building, the marketing to the people I really care about, which are you, my customers. I cared so much about you that I'm providing free lessons online, and I'm creating PDFs to release to you for free to share with your friends and family, and everything that I've done here today, including the videos. At one time I said 72 hours and then they'll go dark. No, they're staying up because I'd like to hear from you. Now the money may not be rolling in, and I just said the money is part of my business. Yes, it's revenue. But what's even more important to me, and we're going to get to that, is what's going on in my values. Number 3, artists who know what they like. So number 3 is the artists that do it and take action. Do it over you. Facebook Lives. You know I get up at 8 o'clock, sometimes 6, and I spend the next 3-4 hours. I wait for inspiration. I think of an art form. And then I go silhouette. Isn't that a mirror on a piece of paper of what's really happening in my heart, just like art? What's going on? And so for you, you could clip them out in the magazine. You can find pictures that resonate with you and share that with the family. And when I talk about knowing the difference about what you're good at, it's important. And I want to say this as a person who has had some experience with that. Because remember, I was saying I was moving and I was copying what other artists were doing. And it wasn't working. And I couldn't understand why. Why wasn't anybody looking at my stuff? Why can't I sell? It's because the work I was looking at, and I'm going to give you an example because I followed this. I was a curator in a museum. I saw how Woodlands art was so captivating to me. It was bright, bold colors, lines were solid, and they could tell their story. The Woodlands story, like Norval Moruso. There was a movement, an art revolution, and I thought I was part of that movement. Well, woodland art is very beautiful, but it's for a region that the group of 7, if you did your homework, derived from. They're the ones that brought indigenous art to the surface rather than in the museum shelves. And I'm thinking to myself, but my art, it's not like that. What is it? And understanding my art and understanding why I created was so valuable. I spent over the last 2-3 years looking at my heart and what keeps me ticking. And I want to say that Woodlands art is bold lines, abstraction, and it's representational too, which means that it almost looks real. You get a sense because of the movement of the story. However, when you look at that, I'm thinking mine doesn't look at this is kind of what I do, but I also do representational / abstraction, because with my masks there's a type of avant-garde going on there, hidden secrets within the mask that are not shared outside of the community, like Norval Moruso Challenge. There are a lot of us artists that express ourselves through our artwork as leaders to bring attention to the global pollution or the misuse of or abuse of water in the world, and that list goes on. So knowing and investing and growing in our art, and my art shifts and moves, but it'll always hold that same thing around landscape, water, and cultural values. Number 2, do you know what drives you and what gives you satisfaction as an artist? 2 years ago I thought about that, about what drives me? Why do I create art? What is it that I cannot stop? Why can't I stop doing art? I should just fold it up, right? No, I can't. And the reason I saw it inside of my heart of heart went, oh, I want to do it for attention. No, that's not it. Oh, I want to be good at presenting workshops and speaking. No, that's not it. And then I thought about when I was really, really passionate about something. Bingo! What am I passionate about? And I really thought about it. When do I feel at the top of the world? And I remember standing in front of a group of people and showing them something, and I could see the lights going on, and oh, I can do this too. There it is. Art is a natural place for me to go, because the most satisfaction I get is sharing my wisdom or my gift that Spirit gave me, that creativity, to make a difference in someone else and to make a difference in the world. And remember, if you've been watching my videos, storytelling. Oh, heart of hearts right there. So art is a natural place for me to go. It's instinctive, and I can bring people to my place. Whether I'm online or in the studio, I can create energy. It's like, and I can see it in your eyes. I can see when the shift changes, because a thought about not being able to do a specific thing in art or business building, I can see it and I mirror that back. And that's part of that artistic passion and growth. So when we talk about values, we need to know and become aware of what our values are. What is our bottom line? Values are the way that we conduct ourselves. And because I want to inspire the world, I value generosity. I, as a person, as an artist, I am aware and hear and see what it is that you are hearing and feeling. So in my line of work as a creative person, I see you first. And I put you first. And that's the truth. Whenever I'm doing my practice, my art studio, I tithe back. I have young people who cannot at times afford even a piece of paper. I come online and I share tidbits, but I also help them become aware of what's really important to them. I want to tell you what psychiatrist Carl Jung said. Carl Jung. Does anybody know Carl Jung? We always hear, he's such a wise person. Backwards again, flip it over. Carl Jung. Your vision will become clear only when you look into your heart. Who looks outside dreams. Who looks inside? That awakens. I love that, and that was taken from the 15 invaluable laws of growth. Here's my call to action. What is your calling? If you're a creative person, artistic, what is your calling? Visualize where you want to go and what you want to do. So here's the question when you do that and you think, there's no time, there's no money. Ask yourself the second question. Instead of what I did when I was cycling, I said to myself, what will it be like when I get there? We were doing a 60-kilometer ride in Colombia, and the hills were steep, and it was 40-degree weather, and we had already done 17 kilometers of steep hills. And I want to tell you that when I wanted to quit, but where would I be quitting? But in order to ease my mental thinking, I said to myself, what will it be like when I get there? Ice cold water, a good meal, the hotel, the air conditioning. This is awesome. And relax. Finally get to relax. And I did the rest of the trip. It was hard, but I did it. Help people from your strengths. When you do your values and you find out what your bottom line is, my bottom line is to surround myself with positivity, and that requires commitment on my part, and that also my bottom line in positive environment. It's not always good. I have to make an effort. Because my bottom line values as well, I'm creating positive energy. I'm filling my mind with growth. Things that'll push me to grow. As an artist, moving through where I'm comfortable, to bright colors like Columbia, to bold lines, and challenging what I think art is. Following regulations about art. Well, I haven't even, all I've ever heard is it needs to be perfect. What is perfect? So I've changed that. And my art has grown, and I've grown as a person. Values show up, as John said just recently, during the most difficult times. which is now. I don't think any of us have had challenges like we are doing right now. The challenges of staying home and distancing don't require us not to be social, but we are finding a way to be social in a different way. So values show up during the most difficult times, and it reveals a leader. That one was, I'm still transitioning through that statement that John left, because that's a powerful statement. And to those of us who have been in the art industry for a long time or in our creative field, we have a lot to give. And if you're the person that can create the calmness and the vision, you are doing well. So creativity, this is your call to action. Creativity comes when you take action. Do. I have made so many mistakes. Right now I'm trying to figure out how to do a live screen with YouTube, and I set up a book reading with CBC, and now I have to figure out what a streaming key is, and I come here on Facebook, and at times I can't see your comments. There are different platforms. Also, Facebook likes to shut me down or slow my videos down for eyes because I may have said something ad-wise, and the list goes on, but I'm growing. And at the end of these 30 days, I can imagine where I will be, because my vision of what I'm doing with my values and my creativity have expanded. So leave footprints in time, John says, not butt prints. Do your art. Do. Share it. What is it that you like about your art? What inspires you about doing it? Being creativity is all mediums. I hear quite a few people say I'm not creative. I don't believe that. It's in cooking, interior decorating, scrapbooking, painting, drawing is typical of an artist. We don't see ourselves as artistic, but this is about creativity. It's about problem and solutions, right? So a follower, as a call to action, don't be a follower. Sitting and waiting. Challenge your convictions. Make the right decision, your decision. It's about doing. And position yourself not for acceptance, but for growth. If you haven't read this, I encourage you to read it. I got so much out of chapter 2 this morning. I can do probably another 5 lives, just that chapter, because there's so much around awareness. All right, I want to skip down into what I will provide with you today is what I would like, the silhouette art. You can get the templates, subscribe or find your own templates and print them out. I'm gonna just flip this over, and you have maybe a man as a creative person and an artistic being. Maybe you trace this out and you paint, or you magazine clip. You're repurposing magazines, those magazines. We have time now. Put whatever you want in there. Or maybe it's about family. Do another template. Trace that or glue it on, however you want. And think to yourself as a creative person, your values, your strengths, and your weaknesses. And depict yourself on here. Or maybe you want to just do a heart with your family and share what's in your heart today. And how can I make a difference in the world? Love you all. Catch you later. Thank you for joining me.